Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down the hilarious snowballing chaos of Mr. Bean's attempt to propose to his girlfriend, Celia. I mean, if you've ever tried to plan the perfect romantic moment, you know that the pressure can be absolutely through the roof. But as we'll see today, sometimes the universe, along with a very healthy dose of clumsiness, just has entirely different plans for us. We're going to analyze exactly how a simple, sweet romantic intention spirals so far out of control that a complete stranger literally walks away with the bride. It's this brilliant sequence of cause and effect, and we're breaking down every single misstep that leads to this incredibly absurd conclusion.
Let's kick things off with phase one, the picnic preparation.
To really understand how everything falls apart, we have to look at the very beginning. The absolute foundation of this disaster starts with some incredibly poor planning. You see, the stark contrast between Bean's idealistic goal and his frantic reality is pretty amazing. He gets a call from Celia and immediately panics, realizing he completely forgot about their picnic date. So that grand romantic park proposal he might have envisioned, yeah, that's instantly replaced by a mad scramble just to throw something, literally anything, together. Let's take a look at what he actually packs. His hasty picnic inventory is, well, it's something. He brings 3 small sandwiches, an absolute overabundance of juice, a hastily rinsed out container doing double duty as a makeshift basket, and, inexplicably, Teddy. Right? This rushed prep leaves him with a totally bizarre inventory for a romantic outing, setting this incredibly haphazard tone for the whole afternoon. I mean, bringing a stuffed teddy bear to your marriage proposal, that's pretty much our very first clue that things might go off the rails.
Moving right along to phase two, dropping the ring. So Bean finally makes it to the park and finds the perfect spot. But the crazy thing is, the real catalyst for the ensuing chaos isn't even directly his fault. While he clumsily tries to rehearse his big moment, a meddling bystander actually steps in to demonstrate the quote-unquote proper technique. The guy literally casts Bean in the role of Celia, getting down to show him exactly how it's done. Step 1, you get on one knee. Step 2, you open the box. And step 3, you say, "Oh, Celia, my love."
But right in the middle of this rehearsal, disaster strikes. The bystander completely fumbles and drops the ring, crying out, "Oh, Christ Stitch, isn't it? Oh, what have you done?" And boom, that single accidental drop triggers the main plot. It sends the entire afternoon into a high-stakes, frantic retrieval mission. That meticulously rehearsed plan, yeah, it is officially out the window.
Which brings us to phase 3, the frantic chase. Now, what's really fascinating here is the sheer domino effect of physical comedy. It rapidly escalates as the ring rolls away through a series of totally absurd moving obstacles. You've got minute 1, where Bean tries to take a shortcut and tangles with a cyclist. Minute 2, there's a crazy mix-up with a baby stroller. And by minute 3, he's clashing with an ice cream vendor. This relentless momentum totally forces Bean to just improvise on the fly, pushing him further and further away from any kind of calm, romantic state of mind.
Let's just zoom in on one of the more ridiculous moments of this wild goose chase. At one point, the ring actually lands near a baby stroller. And rather than just picking it up like a normal person, Bean attempts this highly suspicious trade involving his beloved Teddy, awkwardly offering a Hello Dolly to the baby. Well, as you'd probably expect, this totally fails and really only manages to alarm the guardian, making Bean look, frankly, incredibly suspicious.
The chase really hits its peak when the runaway ring ends up right inside an ice cream vendor's cart. This leads to Bean desperately begging to buy an ice cream, to which the vendor plainly states, "You don't understand, you see, in the ice cream, it's not for sale, mate." You can literally feel the sheer desperation in Bean's pleading. I mean, he doesn't even want the ice cream. He just desperately needs to recover the engagement ring buried inside of it.
Okay, so finally, after all that frantic pleading and totally refusing to take no for an answer, Bean manages to secure the treat. He grabs the now very, very sticky ring, turns and rushes back to Celia to execute his grand romantic plan. So he's got the ring back, sure, but he is completely exhausted and flustered, pretty much barreling headfirst into the finale. And that leads us to phase 4, an accidental engagement. So the really crucial point here is that Bean finally has everything in place. He's got the girl, the park, the ring, but the sheer exhaustion of that wild goose chase totally wrecks his delivery. He tries to pull it together with this rather poetic buildup, asking, "Why do birds sing? Why do the stars shine?" But the question I most want to know the answer to is, But his physical clumsiness interrupts him again. He's struggling to keep this incredibly sticky ring secure, gets completely distracted, and literally loses his train of thought right as he is about to pop the question. Stumbling over his words and completely failing to just ask this simple question, Bean exhausts the patience of, well, the very same bystander from the earlier rehearsal. The guy has just been watching this painful struggle drag on, and the tension finally just boils right over. The frustrated bystander simply cannot take the awkwardness anymore. He abruptly snatches the ring right out of Bean's hands, drops to one knee to demonstrate the proper technique one last time, exclaiming, "For goodness sake, here, give it to me," and inadvertently pitches the absolute perfect proposal to Celia himself. "Celia, my dearest darling, will you marry me?" And guys, here is the perfect comedic twist. Celia, seeing this elegant man down on one knee presenting her with a ring and a beautiful speech, just immediately accepts the bystander's proposal. She smiles and says, "Of course I will," completely oblivious to Bean's actual original intentions. Number one, it only took dropping to exactly one knee for a total stranger to accidentally orchestrate his own engagement. With just one smooth, frustrated motion, this random bystander effortlessly steals Bean's big moment and literally walks away with his girlfriend. Unbelievable, right? But of course, the universe isn't quite done messing with Mr. Bean just yet. Adding absolute insult to injury, the newly engaged man turns and genuinely thanks Bean for his help. And right after that, he drops the ring again. The exact same mistake restarts the whole cycle, sending Bean off on yet another endless, frantic sprint after the runaway ring. So, what does this all mean? It really leaves us wondering, in the face of a completely chaotic universe, if a single dropped ring can derail an entire future, are we ever truly in control of our perfectly planned moments? We started with a hastily packed teddy bear and ended with an accidental engagement to a total stranger. It just goes to show. You can rehearse all you want, but the chaos of the universe always gets the final laugh.